Hi, Taylor. Hey, everybody, as you're starting to come on in, um, real quick reminder, you can ask me questions. We can chat through the chat right on YouTube. You can use the chat room feature on Canvas. You just click on the word chat on the left toolbar. You can email me questions. You can send me messages on my cell phone through Snapchat. I got everything up right now. For if you guys do have any questions, hopefully this is going to link the right thing. That right there is a screen share that we were talking about in the first hour about just exactly how to post on the discussion board, what it should look like. I'm going to post that on Canvas as well, um, probably after the live stream, or if we don't have a lot of questions, I'll post it really quick while we're in the middle of the stream. But that's just a screen share about how to actually post on on the discussion board on Canvas. Um, we talked about a lot of just assignments and things like that on the last hour, but we can talk about whatever you guys are interested in. If it's assignments, we can talk about assignments. Um, if it's just chatting about campus life and the virus and everything like that, we can do that as well. This is designed to be like at the very beginning of our classes when I would spend some time just talking about upcoming assignments and answering questions about those, letting you know what's going to happen for the week, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm designing these live streams around. They're not required. They're not like we are in the classroom. You have to be here the entire hour. I'm going to be talking about material. I'll be answering any questions about anything. So if people have a question about a book chapter or a PowerPoint slide or something like that, we'll talk about those things. Um, but they're designed so that you can pop in and out of these live streams. You come in, ask a question. You have a whole bunch of other classmates that might have the same question, be able to help you out a little bit as well. I can answer any questions here, so it's kind of immediate. You don't have any delays from just like email and things like that. And they're informal. They're meant so that you can pop in and out. Um, a lot of people were here in the first stream, and as of right now, there's only 5 of us here in the second one. So it's popping in and out however you need to. If you have questions and things like that, what I am planning on doing with these is doing them Mondays and Thursdays, as long as they are in demand, popular. If it's just if we only have 3 or 4 people that show up to these, um, we'll just do them individual. We'll do them one on one. We can chat. We can either chat over the phone. We can chat. I can put up a live stream if it's easier. Just for the couple people when they have a question, it's very easy for me to just load this up. If you have a question like, hey, can we jump on a stream really quick? I can do it that way. We can do it over the phone. There's a million ways we can do it. I'm going to see how in demand these are. But right now, for today, next Monday, I'm going to do it from 2 to 3. And I'll do it next Thursday, same times, 11 to 12:30. Take a break for lunch, 1:30 to 2:30. I can always be on for a little bit longer if need be, or change the timing a little bit. Like I said, it's really easy for me. Um, and if you weren't here for the first stream, the one thing that I ran into some technology issues with is apparently my computer is not um, updated enough, expensive enough, whatever the term would be, to share my screen while I'm live. So anything that we talk about that has to be, I have to record my screen and do a screen share for. I'll have to do that after the stream ends. I'll record that really quick and post it for you guys. That's what that link I posted in the chat room is. That's a screen share of something we were talking about in the first hour, which was just exactly how to make the post. Like it was, I can find the discussion board for them, although I show you on that how to find the discussion board for them. I just don't know how to post. And anything else that comes up, if we have questions about how to post or how to answer an assignment or whatever it might be, that's what we're here to do with these live streams. And if there's not a lot of questions, we'll just be chatting. And again, for the couple of you that just popped in, you can ask me questions in the chat here on YouTube. You can ask me questions through email, through the chat room function on Canvas. You just click the word chat on your left toolbar in our Canvas class, or you can be sending me messages through Snapchat. And I'll answer them that way. So however you normally would get in contact with me, feel free. Email, chat room, YouTube chat, Canvas chat, Snapchat, all of them work. There's one other thing I need to mention. I can't remember what it was. Oh, and the other thing I need to mention is that I have 3 classes that potentially could be in here when I'm doing these. So I am scheduling my live stream times so that it overlaps with each class a little bit. So Monday I have a class that is at 2 p.m. So I'm going to do it from 2 to 3. Tuesday and Thursdays I have a class that was at 11 a.m. and then a class at 2 p.m. So I'm just trying to overlap a little bit of class time with each one of those classes, but you don't have to come to your classes time. Anytime that works with your schedule when you have a question of them. So that's Monday and Thursdays. Uh, Here, yes, it is due today for our Tuesday, Thursday class. I will check right now to see if I have yours submitted. And yes, I do. Yep, and it looks good too. Without reading through it and scrolling all the way down, it definitely looks like what I'm looking for. Cynthia, I saw your email you sent. It went through right as I went live. Um, so I didn't actually read it. I just saw that I got it, but I'm looking at it right now. Okay, let me take a look and see if I have yours and see what it looks like. Make sure that it looks okay as well. All right, so I have it submitted. And yeah, without reading through it, it looks like it's what I'm looking for. Yes. Uh, Wait. So Cynthia, here's what I'm confused with from what you submitted to me. What bullet point from step 1 are you using? Because I don't see a bullet point from your submission. You can email me about that if you don't want to talk about it with everybody right now. So from what I see from what you have, I mean, I can see I see information like a research worksheet there. What I don't see is it relating to a bullet point necessarily. It almost looks like it might be related more to the movie poster, but that's not what it's supposed to be on. So I'm a little unsure. So either shoot me an email or if you want to, I can answer it while I'm here, depending on what your preference is. Let me check my other chat, see if I have any questions. All right, doesn't look like I have any questions there. So anybody here have any questions about anything? Otherwise, I'll just make a general kind of statement on where we are class-wise, what's coming this week and next week. And we'll see if we have any questions there. Otherwise, like I said, we can just chat about whatever. If you guys want to just chat about what life is like right now being stuck at home, we can do that. But all right, so quick update. So first of all, we have 3 classes potentially in here. The classes will end up on basically the same schedule starting next week, but they're not necessarily on the same schedule right now. So let me go into for both of them. Oh, I know it's such an adjustment to everything. Yes, I will explain the 250 word essay. I think you're talking about the discussion post then, Adila? Is that correct? You're talking about the discussion boards? I'll explain that right after, but we have the 3 classes. The Monday class is slightly on a different schedule than the rest of my classes are because technically we didn't meet on Monday this week. We were closed for an extended spring break. So they don't have as much going on this week, but they'll catch up next week basically. For this week, all of my classes, all three, have a discussion board that's due by Friday. That is the quick discussion board. The video link that I have, I'm going to post it again right now. That video link I'm also going to post on Canvas after the live stream ends. But that was from a question that came up in the first live stream, the first hour today, which was about how to post on the discussion board. So that video goes into that. You're going to have to read the weekly introduction for the week to get information on what goes on your main post. And then you go to the discussion board. Your main post is all of one word. So, I mean, the entire thing for this week will take you a minute. The extra time that you're going to need for this week is learning what you need to do to post. So if you know how to post on the discussion board, this will take you all of a minute. It's going to count for a couple points extra credit. It's not graded, so even if you couldn't figure it out and didn't get it in, you don't lose points. It's just for extra credit. All I want to see for this week is that you are able to post on the discussion board, and also that you're able to view all of the information that I have for you guys every single week. To do that, it's all on the homepage of Canvas, right where you normally would have seen our syllabus, where you normally would see our PowerPoints and the articles and everything like that. I am going to put, I'm going to organize in that same page. I will always date each module by the weeks for the module. So it's going to be easy to see which one we're in. I'm always going to drag that to the top of the page as well. So that way it's always going to be first thing you see. At the top of the page will be the current week. If you scroll down a little bit, it'll be the information that we had from the beginning of the semester. So the syllabus is there, PowerPoints, articles, all that. And then if you go below, that's if you want to see an older module, or if you wanted to look ahead or something like that, you can look at all that information, all the time as well. It'll just be at the bottom of the page. Always read all of the information for the week that I have. I'm going to always post a lot of information for you guys. I don't want you to only be relying on the textbook chapter. Yes, we can talk later, Cynthia. I don't want you to only be relying on the textbook chapter now that we're online. I want you to still feel like you have a lot of information. There's a lot of, complementary information going over different pieces of information. So here's what I'm going to post every week. You always have the PowerPoint in the textbook chapter for the week, just like we would if we were in the classroom. I will always do a short lecture. I aim for 10 minutes on those lectures. The first two that I recorded ended up 11 minutes each, but I'm aiming for 10 minutes because I want to make it short enough that you guys will actually watch it without, getting bored or losing attention or anything like that. Because they're shorter than if I was going over them in class, they're going over specific things in detail, skipping over some others. So make sure you focus on the things that I more or less skip over. I'm always going to try to find something extra. A TED Talk or Crash Course Psychology is what I'm going to use for the first couple of weeks. Those videos are really informative, really good. The only negative is he talks a little fast, so you might have to replay a specific thing if you miss it. But it's right on YouTube, so it's easy to do that. And every week they'll have something due. You can always tell what's due because there's a deadline to it. I have it all dated for you. So on your to-do list on your Canvas page on the right, it's just looking there. You can always see what's going to be due. Friday is that quick discussion board. Other than figuring out how to post, it only will take a minute. It's very, very simple. What you make in your first post is in the weekly introduction for the week. And what you're doing when you reply to one classmate is in the actual discussion question. I just want to make sure that you can read both of them. That's why I'm making you go to different places for it. I'm not going to make you jump through hoops in the future. This is just to make sure you can use everything on Canvas. Starting in future weeks, everything will be in that discussion board question, and you'll make a main post. That main post in future weeks is 250 words. I'm not going to count the words of what you post, but what that equals is 1 page double-spaced. I'll always recommend that you actually type it up on a Word document and then just copy and paste it on the discussion board before you submit it. Because if something happens and your computer freezes, your Word document will save it. Canvas wouldn't have saved your work. That is 1 page double-spaced. So while I say 250 words, 1 page double-spaced is specifically what I'm looking for. Unless it looks very much short of 250 words, I'm not going to count the words. In that post, you're going to answer whatever the question is. So for this week, for the quick discussion board, you don't have to do the 250 words. Starting next week, when we're covering social psychology, it'll be 250 words. And in that post, you're answering the question. You can pull information from the textbook. If you want to pull information from the internet, you can. From whatever extra content I'm giving you, like for social, there's a couple of YouTube videos that I'm giving you. I'm always going to try to put the extra stuff as YouTube videos. I think that's a little bit more friendly than some other things like worksheets and things like that you fill out. I'm going to try to stick to YouTube clips where I can. You'll put the 250 word post, you'll submit that, and then on each week that we do these, you'll have to reply to 2 classmates. So this week it's only 1. Next week and every week after that, if we're online for the longer term, we'll see if we are, will be 2. And then there's going to be, always pay attention to my announcements in the weekly introduction, because there could be some changes to that here and there. The 250 word discussion board for social is going to be due at the end of next week. On Monday of next week, for those who are in my Monday classes, it does not apply to the Tuesday, Thursday classes. The only thing that you guys will have due on Monday specifically is the research worksheet. For my Tuesday, Thursday classes, that's due today. So that's going to be due when the classes meet. Discussion boards are going to be asynchronous. So what asynchronous means is it's not that everyone has to post at the same time. It means you can post at any point throughout the week. When we get to those posts for the discussion boards, I'm going to ask that you guys make those main posts by Wednesday. You can post next week's today if you wanted to. You could post it on Monday. Most people are probably going to post it on like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll ask that you get the main post up by Wednesday, so that way people have posts to reply to on Thursday and Friday, because everything should be done by Friday. So your main posts I will ask that are done on Wednesday, because then it'll give you 48 hours to just reply to those 2 classmates. If everyone waited till Friday, there's not going to be posts for people to reply to, and that becomes problematic. So I'm assigning that the main posts are done on Wednesdays, and that the replies to 2 other classmates are done by Fridays. So that's not, I shouldn't have said on, it's by them. You can submit them early. You could submit them today if you wanted to for next week. You can submit them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It doesn't have to be last minute. It's all asynchronous for the discussion boards. So the research worksheet is going to be due when our classes meet. So Tuesday, Thursday is due today, and the Monday class is due on Monday. And then we end up caught up. So we talked about the quick discussion board assignment. Take all of 60 seconds. Just make sure you read the weekly introduction for what goes in that first post. The future discussion board assignments will normally work just like that. Wednesday, you make a main post, and Thursday and Friday, you are submitting replies to 2 other classmates. There's one discussion board that might work differently. I should say that will work differently than that. That discussion board will be when we do those group discussions. And I'm going to hold off on that information for right now, because I want to know if we will be in the classroom come April. When the state and then the school make the decision on if we're moving back into the classroom in April or if we're going to be online for the rest of the semester, that's when I'll give you exactly how that will work. But if we are online, if we're back in person, we're just going to do them as we normally would. If we are online for the rest of the semester, we will have a week that we do those discussion boards as the weekly discussion board. So that'll work a little differently than the other weeks. And that'll be in April. Research worksheet. So like I said, due today for Tuesday, Thursday class, and Monday for the Monday class. Research worksheet, all of those documents are in the weekly module. You have one that's for the example, one that's for the guide, and one to submit for. The one where you submit your finished product says step 2-research worksheet. If you click on that, there's just an area that you click the button to submit assignment. You load your document from your computer into the toolbox, and then you click submit. The only important thing there is that will only accept you to submit as a .doc, .docx, or .pdf. So a Word document or a PDF. If you use .pages, or Google Docs, you just have to convert the file really quick. It shouldn't take too long. It's just converting. You click Save As and convert the file. The research worksheet itself, the instructions are in the guide. Beyond the instructions that are in the guide, the way I would say it in my own words is you're just taking that page 2 of that document and you are answering every question that's on there. Don't skip any. You are using one article, not both of the articles you found from the research worksheet. Just one, not both of the articles you found from the library session. Remember, the research worksheet uses the information from the library session. And you are taking that article, and in essence, what you're doing is taking an article and breaking it down to the nuts and bolts. The nuts and bolts are answering the questions that are on the sheet for you. So if you go to page 2, you have some information that they want that she will ask you from the introduction, the method section, the results section, and the discussion section. Make sure you answer each one of those questions. Each section, so your introduction section, 1 big paragraph, 2 small paragraphs. Method section, 1 big paragraph, 2 small paragraphs, so on and so forth. In essence, the whole thing will be about a 1-page double-spaced paper. Make sure you answer every question. And the purpose of a research worksheet in general is so that you can summarize, you can get everything that's in an article on this one piece of paper that it's easy to find. For this assignment, we are using just 2 articles. It's going to be easy to keep track of what's in each. In your future in college, when you're doing research papers, you will probably be doing research papers using 10 to 20 different sources. If you have even 10, it's going to be very easy to lose track of what's in each one of the sources. A research worksheet is designed so that it's something that you can take a look at the research worksheet. It takes 30 to 60 seconds and you know what was in that article, because it'll take a lot longer and become frustrating if you have to go through each article and look at all of your highlights on there to figure out what was in that article. The research worksheet is just better organization for that. For the research worksheet, for us, we're going to do a paragraph form. In the future, when you do these, you'll do them bullet point form. When you get used to them, they take me about 10 minutes to do. This one will take you longer because it's paragraph form, not bullet points, and it's the first one that you do. And that's all of our upcoming assignments. Research worksheet, 2 discussion boards, and that will bring us into the March 30th into April 3rd or 2nd or whatever it is that week. That week will be updated. I'm waiting. At that point, I'm just waiting to hear news from the school and from the state and the school on if we're going to be online or moving back in person. Everything for that detail is waiting on that decision. I do have a plan for both of those in place. If we move back in the classroom, it's pretty straightforward. If we are online, I have what we're going to do for the rest of the semester, but I'm waiting until that is confirmed to update the grade information and put all of that information up on Blackboard. Not on Blackboard, I'm sorry, on Canvas. That will all be coming as soon as that decision is made. From there, I'll update the grade weights from there, different assignments. The group discussions will still be happening either way. We're just waiting to decide if we're doing them in the classroom in person or if we're going to do them online through a discussion board. The one assignment that is very much up in the air, it's the only assignment I don't have a set thing that I'm doing with, is the movie research poster. Now, for the Monday class, that's not in our schedule, so we don't have to. You guys don't have to worry about that. The movie research poster, if we meet on Monday, if you're in the Monday class, we weren't doing that assignment. We were doing something different in place at the beginning of the semester, which we already did. The Tuesday, Thursday class, that movie poster, some of you over spring break, because it was going to be due right after spring break, already did it. And probably more than half of you, but probably a lot of you haven't done anything for it. And the bottom line is with the movie research poster, it doesn't really fit online very well. So I'm finding a way. I haven't made an official decision on this, but I'm finding a way to make it so that those of you who did do it or did a good amount of work already on it, there's a way that you can still use it. So it's not just that you wasted your time. But I also am making in the same token, those who didn't start it at all, will just probably end up, it'll just be a canceled assignment that they can just skip over. What I think I'm going to do to make that work for both sides is I'm going to take one of the discussion assignments and I'm going to say that you can complete the discussion board if you didn't do anything for the movie poster. But if you did do information for the movie poster, just to submit that in place of that discussion board. So basically give you the choice between two assignments. I don't want to make it so that those who did the work feel like they wasted their time, if that makes sense. But that I don't have an official decision yet. Once I know if we are online or moving back on, I'm going to start thinking about that then. But I need to give some thought to it once I have that decision. Okay, that I think is our big update for where we are with everything. Now I'm just going to go through some other questions. Sorry, my dog is literally on my feet underneath here. Okay. So Cynthia, I said we can definitely chat later. Send me an email. We'll chat right after at about 2:30 when this ends. We can schedule time and chat. Adila, sounds like you're good. Perfect. And Ashita, do we think it's 3 paragraphs? I don't understand your question. What do you mean by 3 paragraphs or one big 6-line paragraph? I don't understand what you mean. What assignment are you talking about? Cool. All right. So for the research worksheet, divide it by the different categories. So have the introduction and as its own like category. So you can put them, you don't have to use the template that's up there. You can just put them in a full Word document or something like that. But each one of those should have its own paragraph. Don't combine all of that into a paragraph. If you were just doing one big 6-line paragraph, I can guarantee if you put that for all of them, you wouldn't have nearly enough content and you would not do well on the assignment. So definitely divide them up with each one of them having their own paragraph for sure. Oh, if you mean for like in the intro, it has 3 questions. You don't need a paragraph answer for each one of the specific questions. Let me load that up and I think I understand your question better now. Let me load up the document so I can read that actually word for word. Okay, so if you're on the research worksheet and you're looking at the introduction, where you have all these different specific questions, where one is discuss the purpose of the study, another is what was the reason the researchers wanted to do the study, what question did the researchers want to answer. If you're talking about each one of those, they don't each need to be their own paragraph. You can have one paragraph for each one of those questions in the introduction, and then a new paragraph for the method section where you're answering, describe the participants who participated in the study. What did the researchers ask the participants to do? That can be another paragraph, but a whole paragraph. You don't need a paragraph specifically on describe the participants and then a new paragraph on who participated in the study. Just one paragraph for each one of those. And then that paragraph, one big paragraph, 4 to 6 sentences, or 2 smaller paragraphs, depending on how you want to divide it up. If you do 2 smaller paragraphs, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 sentences in each one. Assuming that that's what you meant. If not, just clarify for me. Let me know a little bit more specific what you mean by that. Anybody else have any questions or anything? A lot less people here for this hour than for the first hour, so it's a lot quieter. The first hour was just a constant roll of me answering questions. So, got to figure out what we're doing for some of this empty time. Cool. I'm glad that's what you. All right, perfect. You're very welcome. I mean, ask questions as you guys come, as they come up, guys. Like I said, here on this, you can also use the chat room features. It seems like that's not as popular as I thought it was going to be for that. But what's awesome, it seems like, is everybody has, can ask the questions on YouTube, it seems like. So that works really, really well. However, you need to ask me questions, keep asking away. Otherwise, we can just chat. How is life treating you with how different it is? My eyes keep glancing at my TV because I have the news on, so I keep reading as the headline is changing. How is being stuck? It's such a different way of life, isn't it? It's so funny. Like during the week, I'm not doing things so different than I would normally. Like most of the weekdays at night, I'm just here, doing checking emails and things like that, watching some TV and things like that. Um, but just the fact that I can't go out, it's driving me crazy. Just the fact that I should say I'm not supposed to go out, it's changing so much about how my life feels. The thing that's killing me is that I can't go to the gym, and it's driving me crazy because I live in an apartment. There's not really area to do much, so I'm looking forward to the weather warming up even more. I think it's tomorrow. I think so I can actually go and take like a long walk or something like that. Man, I've never wished I had a Peloton more than I do right now. And for anyone who came in a little bit late, I originally wanted to have my screen up with just like a little picture in the bottom corner of me with my actual screen to share. As I answer these questions, I could actually show you. My computer isn't updated enough apparently to do that live. I can do that. I just can't do it while streaming live. Apparently, I need something a 900 level of something, and I only have an 800 level of something. It's funny. I'm actually pretty computer oriented, but I got so frustrated if you read what it was. Um, so I can anything you need me to share my screen for right after these finish up, I will record them and post them on Canvas. So there's a link that's in the chat from something that came up in the first hour. So I posted that. I screen shared that on how to post on the discussion board. And same thing, anything that happens, if I can't give you, if I'm not like answering it well enough by just describing it, just let me know because I can. A lot of these questions I can screen share and post it. So if I'm answering something and it's just you're still not picturing it well enough, just let me know. I can actually record my screen, post that to YouTube. I just can't do it live. I can post that to YouTube and then post that link to YouTube. Um, I can do that pretty easily, pretty much whenever we need to. I do teach online as well, like and we're not going to be like my normal online classes. But I do teach online, so all the technology and all these programs, they're on my computer. The only thing that I wasn't used to is live streaming because I don't do that for my online classes. So I had a little bit of a learning curve. I just figured it was as easy as it would be when I'm not when I'm not live to do. But unfortunately, it wasn't. So that's the only negative is that you don't have that. If ever, like right now, I'm sitting back. So if you can't hear me well, let me know. I thought about buying a microphone from Amazon for these. I have headsets that I can use if need be, but it seems like my computer picks up the audio pretty well from my laptop. So unless it's really hard to, then I can look into a headset or buying a microphone. But as long as you can hear it pretty clear, it's not like really echoey or anything, then we'll do these Mondays and Thursdays. Okay, so I'm still here if you have any questions, but it doesn't seem like there's only four of us here. Only three other clock because one of them's me. And it doesn't seem like everybody's like, oh, I want to talk about what's going on in life or anything like that. So I'm going to hang tight until 2:30 here. Um, Ask whatever questions might come up, just in case they do. But I'm not going to be overly talkative unless you guys have questions. Even if it's just you want to chat about what's going on. I've been watching the news pretty constantly because everything is so crazy. But unless there's something that you guys want to talk about or anything, make sure you're washing your hands. The biggest tip that I have for everybody when it comes to cleanliness is wash your cell phones after you go outside. When you come in, use a Lysol wipe or something that can clean them. Especially like if you're in a store and you have your phone out, because we almost always do. That's something that the virus potentially could be living on. even though you might go into your car afterwards and sanitize yourself, that doesn't mean that it's not on your phone still. That's one definite recommendation that I would have for you guys. Only two of you guys here, but I will get the. Actually, I'm going to do that while we're on stream right now. If you guys have questions, make sure you're asking it. But what I'm going to do is I still need to post everyone's grades for group discussions that were completed. It's the top of my to-do list. I was trying to get to it before these live streams started today, but I had my technology issue with being able to show my screen, so I never got to actually do it. So I'm going to post those grades, and I'm just keeping track. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, because I'm still here. I'm going to be checking the chat log every few seconds. But those grades will be up in just a few minutes. So we have a lot of information to get ready and now this report. My take on it is as follows. You know, when all of this ends, we're going to have to really take a hard look at the agencies, at how the White House works with the agencies, how the federal government works with the state government, and really do a post-mortem on how all of this things went wrong. Right now, we don't have that luxury. Right now, we've got to focus on saving lives, and the fact that I'm very worried now about some of the weaknesses in our health system. We've heard, Governor Cuomo is not really articulating what the surge means to our hospitals, and we have to take those same lessons and apply it really to every state in the country right now. I'm getting report after report from my colleagues so that a number of healthcare providers, nurses, doctors on the front lines are getting sick. And even if they're not getting sick, when they're being at a significant level of exposure, they're not able to work. And I said a couple of days ago on CNN, I said, this is the weak link, and if this continues to happen, it's like that we simply will not be able to respond to this epidemic. So my take on this is, when you're talking about, we're going to have to look at that. We're going to have to look at a number of things. Let's get through this now. I see what you're saying. We're in the middle of the game. It's Sunday, Friday, Monday morning quarterback, right? That's a very good point. We heard the president and the FDA commissioner talking about several drugs that are in the pipeline, maybe to help treat the coronavirus. We don't know if this one really works. But
talk to us about chloroquine. This is a malaria drug. A lot of people, as you travel to some place where malaria is present, you may have taken this drug. Is this the real deal? Because the president said it could be a game changer.
Well, let's look at the timeline just to kind of keep the overall perspective. We're developing a vaccine. A vaccine is about the highest bar there is in terms of timeline. That's where Dr. Fauci said for years, 18 months. I think that may be optimistic. It could be longer than that. The next tier down is brand new drugs, become new chemical entities that have never been used before. The next lower top, the lowest hanging fruit, if you want to call it that, is repurposing existing drugs where we already know the safety profile, and those could be the ones rolled out the fastest. So there is some preliminary data on hydroxychloroquine, which is an old anti-malarial drug. You know a lot about it. You can make a ton of it. It's orally bioavailable. You can take it as a pill, so that if it does have an impact on the virus, it could potentially be a game changer used either as a treatment or as a prophylactic to give to some of those healthcare workers. We know it has antiviral activity against the coronavirus in the test tube. We know it can also help reduce some of the inflammation in the lung. Those two pieces would work very nicely together. What we need to do now is stimulate the clinical data to show that it really is effective. There's a preliminary study out by my colleague Didier Raoult from southern France, suggesting that in a small study that looks potentially promising, but that's still not ready for prime time. We still need substantially larger study. And there could be a couple of other drugs like that. And then the last piece is something that we really need to accelerate. This week, and I've spoken about it before on CNN, which is harvesting the antibodies from the serum, processing that and giving it to either sick people in a large dose that can treat that virus infection. It may not be a cure, but it will reduce the likelihood.
I see somebody just popped in. If you have a question, let me know, but we pretty much covered every question that we had. So I am entering in some grades, but I'm still here taking a look at chat every in a couple seconds. Just send me a question if you have it. You can send it on the chat right here or shoot me an email really quick and we'll cover whatever you need.
Well, I would imagine that because it's widely available globally, I would imagine there's studies going on in Italy and in China, and I'm sure here in the United States. I'd love to see even though the clinical trial.
Months? Like, is it something that would it be a month? Would it be 6 months? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I give timelines, I'm always wrong. So, maybe a few weeks, a couple of months. As I say, this is just to keep things in perspective. Trying to develop new therapies, new vaccines for a brand new disease pathogen in the middle of a public health crisis is about the hardest thing a nation can do. And it sets you up to think you look terrible, even under the best circumstances. So, I know that people at the NIH are working around the clock, people at the FDA working around the clock. We're working around the clock. Our staff is working tirelessly to get our vaccine done. Everyone's exhausted. Everyone's very worried. And it's bringing out the best of humanity like scientists as well. So that's
Dr. Hodges, thank you so much. We know you were building the ship as you're sailing it, and we appreciate you talking about it. Thank you. And a reminder that Dr. Gupta and Anderson Cooper are going to host a live global town hall.
For a couple of you that just popped in, if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat. We covered pretty much everything question-wise a little earlier, but I'm still here for another 10 minutes for any questions that you guys might have. We'll chat as much as we need. Otherwise, I am entering in your grades right now as we speak for past discussions.
And cities of Florida now taking action after spring breakers rejected repeated warnings, rejected common sense, and fought to the state's beaches.
We're so embarrassed we overpaid for this used car. We don't even want to show our faces around here.
If you don't see me, you're not seeing the most accurate price. Shop with Carfax. You won't have to open an used car again. Shop millions of great deals and all you need Carfax.com.
Reason for you to switch to Jackson Hewitt. Say goodbye to your old tech service and get $100 when you file with Jackson Hewitt. Plus, you'll get a lifetime accuracy guarantee. So maybe it's more like 101 reasons. Get your coupon code at jacksonhewitt.com and get $100 today.
Greg, have you seen this? I have never seen such a gorgeous lawn.
When you see a great lawn, it's all you see. Their lawns on a whole other level. All the experts at True Green for a custom plan to make your lawn thick, green, healthy, and weed-free. Car Gurus has no less painful way.
I used to find car shopping painful too. And then Car Guru showed me how good it could feel like again. Why not? This is my car. And that's my deal.
Go to Car Gurus today.
What's our safe flight story? We were on a camping trip when our windshield got a chip.
We drove to Safe Flight Auto Glass for a same-day repair.
And with our insurance, it was no cost.
Safe Flight has service we can trust.
Safe flight repairs, safe flight replace.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle, stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
What are you doing?
Who's that with the bathroom?
After our customer done the job, we perfectly over the old one, so there's no demo on X.
No demo?
Remodel your bath with no demo in Brewers one day. Call now and visit bathfitter.com for a free consultation.
Allergies with nasal congestion make it feel impossible to breathe. Get relief behind the counter with Claritin D. Claritin D improves nasal airflow 2 times more than the leading allergy spray at hour 1. Claritin D. Get more airflow.
Cheers, only crowds ago. No cooking, no drama, just great.
Yes, Joanna.
Crispy fried chicken, tender hot roast, carrot cake. Did I say no drama? Golden Corral, the only one for everyone. Now you get to know.
Robin Hood believes now is the time to do money. Without the days and count minimums, so you can start investing.
Yes, Joanna.
And then on us. Download now and get your first stock on us.
When cravings are not strong, be stronger. With Nicorette-coated ice cream, layered with flavor. It's the first and only coated nicotine lozenge for an amazing taste that outlasts your craving. Nicorette ice cream. There's a strong, I know, breaks that you get. And Liberty Butcher Root. Liberty gives you. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Only pay for what you need.
This is in this class. Oh, hold on.
Only Tylenol rapid release gels have laser drilled holes. They release medicine fast for fast pain relief. Tylenol. We gotta
Oh,
stop
because that's
to give them some adventure. To reconnect and be together. And once we did that, we realized his greatest adventure is just beginning.
Welcome to the most adventurous Outback ever. The all-new 2020 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Get 0.9% APR financing on the 2020 Subaru Outback through March 31st.
Closed captioning brought to you by 1-800-PET-MEDS. Call or visit PetMeds.com to see this today. Rely on the experts at 1-800-PET-MEDS for the same medications as the vet, but up to 30% with fast free shipping. Visit PetMeds.com today.
Any questions about the government response to coronavirus today? President Trump also repeatedly took the opportunity to attack the media. Let's listen.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Doesn't seem like anyone has any questions or anything, so shoot me an email if you do.